Hi, welcome to my video on reviewing or going over the first rule in factoring, which is remove the GCF if there is one. The GCF is the first rule in factoring. And turn the page. Let's do a bit of a review before we start removing the GCF. And recall a multiplication of monomials. Let's multiply these two, and I get a 2 times 1 is 2, x squared, because you add the exponents. Multiply negative 12, and x, 2 plus 1 is 3. Multiply x, and you add to get a 7. And you multiply 2 times 6 is 12 with the x. And multiply negative times negative is positive. 4 times 1 is 4. X is 2 plus 1 is 3. And that's a 1 and a 1, which is a square. Notice when you multiply these monomials, you add the exponents when you're multiplying. And number 6 is 2 times 5 is 10. And 3 plus 3 is 6. Multiplying a monomial by a binomial. That's 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 3 is 6. X times x is x squared. When you multiply, you add your exponents. X times 7 is a plus 7x. 3x squared times 4x is 12x cubed. You add the exponents. Negative 3x squared. 3x squared times negative 1 is negative 3x squared. And we have 3 terms, so 3 multiplications. 4 times 2 is 8. X cubed times x squared is 5. 4 times 3 is 12. And x cubed times x is x4. And 4 times 5 is 20. And we have an x cubed. So notice 1, 2, 3. Multiply. This term is multiplied by the 3 of them. And notice this one is multiplied just 2 of them. So take your time. 5 times 6 is 30. X cubed times x is x to the 4. X squared times x squared is x4. 1 plus 3 is 4. 2 and 2 is 4. 5 times negative 7 is negative 35. X cubed, no more x's. Y squared times y is y cubed, but that's a 1 plus 2. And we have a 10 times 1 is 10. X times x is x squared. We have a y. And we have a times a is a squared. And then 10xya times 2y is a 20. X y squared with an a. And so notice 10 times that one, and then 10 times that one. Perfect. Let's review the division of monomials. Division is the opposite, so we subtract the exponents. 8 divided by 4 is 2, just an x. 20 divided by 5 is 4, so 2 subtract 1 is a 1. 4 subtract 3 is a 1, understood. When we divide, we subtract. When we multiply, we add. 18 divided by 3 is 6. 6 take away 2 is 4, or I say take away 6. Subtract 2. Negative divided by negative is positive. 14 divided by 7 is 2. And we subtract 5. Subtract 3 is 2. Negative divided by positive is a negative. 25 divided by 5 is 5. 9 subtract 1 is an 8. And what I say, there's 9 on the top, 1 on the bottom, so there's 8 extra on the top. 28 divided by negative 7 is a negative 4. X to the 4 subtract 3 is 4, subtract 3 is 1, and the y's are the same, so they cancel out. Notice the y's are 1 minus 1, and that's y to the 0, which is 1, so I just cancel them out instead of going through all this. Negative 35 divided by 5 is a negative 7. 5 subtract 1 is 4. 3 subtract 2 is 1. And 14 subtract 10 is 4, because when you divide, you subtract. That's a review of the skills that you practiced earlier in my videos. And I'm just reviewing them now because we're going to need them coming through what I'm going to do for factoring. And remember, when I was when I teach students and we do factoring, I used to say to the grade 10 or 11 students after doing factoring, what's the first rule of factoring? And they could not tell me. So the teacher and the text or what, they didn't know. But every time I go to factor, I'll say, is there a GCF? If possible, remove it. The GCF is the first rule in factoring. When you go to factor, remove the GCF. Look for it. To factor means to express as a product. Factoring is the reverse of the product. Notice we're going to simplify. 5 times x, 5x. 5 times 3, 15. X times x, x squared. X times 4, 4x. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 5 is a plus 10x. So that's multiplying. Now we're going to reverse this. In each of the above, let's look at this one. 5 and x plus 3 are factors of 5x plus 15. We multiply these two, so x and x plus 4 are factors of x squared plus 4x. And 2x times x plus 5, they're the two factors, because it's 2x times x plus 5. So they're the two factors which are factors of the product, which is 2x squared plus 10x. So what happens is that we're factoring these. So notice if you multiply by FOILs, and now we're going to learn the reverse. We're going to go the other way. Factor 10. So factor 10 is 10 times 1. Always factors of a number is always 1, so we don't worry about that. But they are two factors. Factor 10, we say 2 times 5. 24 is, we could write down, 1 times 24 if we want. Still true. And we have a 2, so it's a 2 times 12. We have a 3, so it's 3 times 4. And we have a 6 times 4. Oh, so when I said 3, sorry. 3 times 8 is 24. 35 is 1 times 35, and 35 is 5 times 7. So we have many factor pairs. Again, go back to 10, so I can write 1 times 10. They're factor pairs. 28 is 1 times 28. 28 is even, so it's 2 times 14. And 14 got a 7, so it's 7 times 4. So what I'm looking for is picking up all the factor pairs. 50 is 1 times 50. 50 got a 0, so it's a 10 times 5. And 50 because it ends as 0, it's even, so it's 2 times 25. I already did the 0. Because it got a 0, it has a 10 time and a 5 all at the same time. And there's no more there. And 60 is a 1 times, 66 is 1 times 66. Because it's even is 2 times 33. 2 into both of these is a 3. I see double digits, so I see 11. So it's 11 into 66 is a 6. And I see a 3. 33 got a 3, so it's a 3 into 66 is 22. So sometimes you got to be careful. You're looking for all the factors, pairs. So again, it's even, so I see a 2. But I see a 3 also. 6 got a 6 has a 2 and a 3. That means 66 has a 2 and a 3. So I go 2 and then 3, and I pick all the pairs up. So be careful. Let's continue. To factor a polynomial which has a GCF, let's follow these steps. We'll find the GCF. We'll place it to the left of the brackets. Then we'll divide each term of the expression by the GCF and place the results in the brackets. So let's practice. Here we go. I'm only doing the numerical GCF. Next I'll do the variable, and then I'll do both as I did in the previous videos. So factor each. I see a 2. 2 is the smallest number, and 2 is a factor of 6. So I take the 2, which is the GCF, and I put it outside these brackets. Remember, we're factoring, so we're writing it as a product. So 2x divided by 2 is x. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now check. 2 times x, 2x. 2 times 3, 6. That's a way of checking. So there's the factorization of 2x plus 6. So notice, if you multiply these two, you'll get this. If you factor this, you'll get 2 and x plus 3 as 2 factors. GCF of 9 and 15, and 9 got a 9, 1 times 9, and a 3 times 3. 9 is not a factor of 15, but 3 is. So GCF of 9 and 15 is 3. Take the 3 and put it on the outside of the bracket. Now, 9x divided by 3 is a 3x. 15 divided by 3 is a 5. Now, some people go 9x divided by 3, and they get 3x, and they go 15 divided by 3 and get a 5. But what I do is I put this somewhere else on a sheet, on the paper. I don't write in here because it takes, excuse me, it takes too long to write it down. GCF here is 5, numerical. So 5x divided by 5 is x. 5 divided by 5 is 1. Notice there's 2 terms here, so it has to be 2 in here. Check. 5 times x, 5x. 5 times 1, 5. So there's 2 terms has to be here in order to get the 2 up there. D, the GCF of 20 and 30 is 20 is not a GCF. 1 times 20. 2 times 10. 10 is a GCF of a factor of 30. So 10 is the GCF. Put your 10 outside and put a bracket. 20x divided by 10 is 2x. And 30y divided by 10 is negative 3y. Again, 20x divided by 10 gives you 2x. And 30y divided by 10 is 3y. Multiply 10 times 2x, 20x. 10 times negative 3y, negative 30. Perfect. Now we have 3 terms. Smallest number is 2. Is 2 a factor of each of these? Yes. So 2 is GCF. 2x divided by 2 is 1x. 6y divided by 2 is negative 3y. The negative is there. And 10 divided by 2 is 5. And they got to have a b. Check. 2x, negative 6y, and 2 times 5b, 10b. So there's 3 terms up here. There has to be 3 in here. Remember that. GCF of 75 and 50. 50 is 1 times 50. 2 times 25. 25 has a 2, so it's a 5 times 10. And 50 is not a factor. 25, 25 is a factor of both of them. Right, 50 is not, but 25 is. 75 divided by 25 is a 3, and we have that the y. Plus 50 divided by 25 is a 2. So there's the factorization. Check. 25 times 3y, 75y. 25 times 2, 50. Perfect. Now, pause the video and work these 6 out to see if you're going to get them right. Here we go. GCF, 3 is in both. 3a divided by 3 is an a. 3 divided by 3 is a plus 1. 2 terms up here, 2 in here. 7 is the smallest number. 7 is the GCF of both of these. 14x divided by 7 is a 2x. 7 divided by 7 is a negative 1. Multiply back. 7 times 2x, right? 7 times negative 1, correct. Smallest number here is 7. Is 7 a common factor of 21 and 28? Yes. Let's take the 7, move it outside. 7x divided by 7 is an x. 21y divided by 7 is a 3, make it negative. And 28 divided by 7 is a negative 4. 3 terms up here, 1, 2, 3. 3 in here. Perfect. 8. Is 8 the GCF of 40? Yes. I don't have to write them all out. What I do quickly is I take the smallest number and say, is that a factor of the other one? If it is, I got my work done. I don't have to write down 1 times 8 and 2 times 4. But if this number which is the smallest. It's not a factor. Then I got to break it down. 8 into 8xy is xy. 8 into 40 is a negative 5. GCF is 8. 8 is common to both of these. Perfect. 8x divided by x is x. 8 divided by 8 is 1. Remember, 2 terms here, 2 in here. 2 terms, 2 in here. 3 terms, 3 in here. And we have 2 terms. Is 5 a factor of 10? Yes, 5 is GCF. 5a divided by 5 is a. 10 divided by 5 is 2. And let's continue. We did the numerical GCF. Now let's find the variable GCF. Notice I'm doing the numerical, then I'm doing the variable, and I bet you the next page will have both of them. Just so you can see everything that's happening. Let's factor these. The numerical. I have an x common, yes. The smallest exponent is a 1. So we take the x and place it outside. And x squared divided by x is an x. 3x divided by x is 3. Notice 2 subtract 1 is 1. And we got the x's. So if you take x squared and divide it by x, you get an x. If you take 3x and divide it by x, the x's cancel out and you get a 3. Multiply. X times x, x squared. X times 3 is 3x. I always say, I got one x here, I need another one to get x squared. I got one x here, I don't need any more x's, I just need the 3. That's the way I work it. I subtract it, but I got it. And the GCF here is x is common, so the smallest exponent is a 2. And 5x cubed divided by x squared is a 5x. And x squared divided by x squared is 1. Again, just if you want, I'm dividing 5x cubed by x squared and I get a 5x. I'm dividing x squared by x squared and I get a 1. Multiply back to check it out. X squared times 5x is 5x cubed. X squared times 1 is x squared. C, the common variable is x. Smallest exponent is 1. Write it outside. Ax divided by x is an a. And 4x divided by x is a 4. So multiply. X times a, ax. X times 4, perfect, 4x. And in this one, there's a common variable of x. The smallest exponent is the 2. 2 is common to both. Right, put it outside. And x squared y divided by x squared is a y. And 3x squared divided by x squared is just a 3. Multiply. X squared times y, perfect. X squared times negative 3, perfect. I have 3 terms here, and there's no number common. The variable common is x. The smallest exponent of 3, 2, and 1 is a 1. So x is common. So x cubed divided by x is x squared. X squared divided by x is just x. X divided by x is 1. Multiply. Notice, when you multiply, you add. 1 plus 2 is 3. 1 plus 1 is 2. And x times 1 is just x. Perfect. 3 terms up here, 3 terms inside. So there's a trinomial here, trinomial on the inside. F, I have an x common, so the smallest exponent is 2. I have a y common, smallest exponent is 1. So x cubed, x squared, I need an x. There's 3 there, 1 there, I need 1 more. I don't need a y. Minus, I have an x squared already, so they cancel out. So I got y, 4y. I need 3 more y's. That's the way I do it. How many more do I need? If they're common. So x squared y times x is x cubed y. X squared y times y cubed is x squared y4. Perfect. Practice means you work these out and press play, come back to see if you're right. Here I go. Factor. X is the GCF, that's common, and the smallest exponent is 3. So I have x common, and the smallest exponent is 3. X to the 4 divided by x cubed is an x. I got 3 x's here, I need 1 more. Makes sense? And 5x cubed divided by x cubed is a 5, because they cancel out. In other words, when you multiply here, you say, I got an x cubed. I don't need any more x's. I just need the 5. And here I have a x in every term. X is the GCF. 2x divided by x is 2. Ax divided by x is a. Bx divided by x is b. So you know, like 2x divided by x, the x's cancel. So I get a 2. Number 3, I have x is common, smallest exponent is 1. Y is common, the smallest exponent is 1. So xy is placed outside because that's the GCF. And I have an x, I need one more x. 1 and 1 is 2. I need no more y's. And I need a 7. I don't need any x's because I already have them. I don't need any more y's because I have them. But just to make sure, x squared y, they're divided by xy. Notice the y's cancel and you subtract 2 minus 1 is 1. And I have a 7xy divided by xy. So the y's cancel out, x's cancel out, so I just have a 7. Number 4, x is common. 1 is the smallest exponent, so x squared divided by x is x. 6x divided by x is 6. X times x squared. X times 6, 6x. And number 5, I have 3 terms, and I see x is common. Yep. Smallest exponent of 3, 2, and 1 is 1. And x cubed divided by x is 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. X squared divided by x is x. 1 plus 1 is 2. And x divided by x is 1. Don't forget, 3 terms here. We need 3 here. So that 1 got to go in. If you don't put that 1 there, then you'll only have x cubed and an x squared. You won't get the x. So notice 3 terms. And 6 has x is common, and the smallest exponent is 2. Y is common, the smallest exponent is 1. There's b is here but not here, so b is not a GCF. So x squared, we have it. We have a y, so the only thing we need is b, because the x squared is here and y is here, so we just need the b. We have the x squared, so we don't need any more x's. And y cubed divided by y is y squared. In other words, when we divide, 3 minus 1 is 2, or I have 1 y, I need 2 more to get the 3. It's another way of saying it. So that's the variable GCF. And again, practice, practice, practice. Now we have both the numerical and the variable GCF. So now we got to practice both. Let's see. We have a 4 is common, so that's easy. We have an x in each term, so we take it out. The smallest exponent is 1, so 4x is the GCF. So 4x squared divided by 4x is just an x. 4x divided by 4x is 1. 2 terms here, 2 here. Check it back. 4x times x, right. 4x times 1, perfect. 10 and 15, 10 is not a GCF, but I see a 5 is. Okay. And we have, I forgot my x. X is common too, right? I said 5, but I forgot to do the x. And the smallest exponent is x squared. So I have the number 5 and my variable x squared. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. X cubed divided by x squared is x. 15 divided by 5 is 3. And x squared divided by x squared cancels out. So done. 3 terms. So we have 7 as the smallest number. 7 a factor of 21 and 35. Yes, 3 and 5. So 7 is the number. That's common. And I have an x in every term, so we take it out. Smallest exponent is 1. So 7 divided by 7 is 1. And x cubed divided by x is x squared. 21 divided by 7 is 3. X squared divided by x is x. 35 divided by 7 is a 5 and is a negative. X divided by x cancels out. Remember, I got a 5. I got an x here. I do not need any more x's to get that. In other words, 35x divided by 7x is x's cancel, so I have a negative 5. D, 8. No, 8 is the smallest number, but I have 1 times 8 and I have 2 times 4. 4 is a factor. 8 is not a factor of 12, but 4 is. So 4 is the GCF numerical. I have an x in every term. I take the smallest exponent. I have a y in every term, in the 2 terms, so I take the 4 as the smallest. So there's the GCF. 12 divided by 4 is 3. X cubed divided by x squared is x. And they cancel out, so I don't need any more y's here. Plus 8 divided by 4 is 2. I got an x squared here and here. I don't need any more x's. And 7, take away 4 is a 3. I need 3 more y's to combine with the 4 to get the 7. Perfect. And we have 10 more to do. So you pause your video and work these out to see if you're going to get them right. If you get them right, then you know what you're doing. If you don't, you have to review more. Practice. Here we go. We're doing both. What number is common? Neither one. So 1 is the common number, is the factor that's common. We have an x in every term, so take it out. 2 and 1. 1 is the GCF. 5x squared divided by x is 5x. 4x divided by x is negative 4. 2 terms here, 2 here. Multiply. X times 5x, perfect. X times negative 4, perfect. Check back. And when you do it so often, you know, you get it right. But again, like me, you got to be careful. You make errors. 6 is common, so that's easy. And x is, the smallest exponent is 1, so there's GCF. So 6x to the 5 divided by 6x is x to the 4. Plus 6x divided by 6x is 1. Notice 2 terms, 2 here. You have to put a 1 here to multiply by 6x to get that 6x. GCF of 14 and 35 is 14, no. 1 times 14, that's 14, 2 times 7. 7, yes, 7 is the numerical GCF. I have an x in each term, take it out. And 14x divided by 7x is a 2. 35 divided by 7 is a 5. And ax divided by x is an a. Multiply back. 7x times 2, perfect. 7x times 5a is 35ax. Number 4, GCF. 5 is the smallest number. Is 5 a factor of these two? Yes. So 5 is the numerical. X cubed, x squared, x. X is the smallest. X is common. Smallest exponent is 1. 25 divided by 5 is 5. X cubed divided by x is x squared. Negative 10 divided by 5 is negative 2. X squared divided by x is x. And 5x divided by 5x is a plus 1. Don't forget that. 3 terms here. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 in here. 1, 2, 3. But don't put the 1 in. I'm in trouble. Be careful. Number 5. I see a 9. 9 is in both. And I see no variable common. There's an a here and an x here, but it's not common. 9 into 9a cubed is a cubed. 9 into that is a negative x squared. So multiply back. 9 times a cubed, perfect. 9 times x squared, perfect. And it's a negative. 12 and 18, the GCF is 1 times 12, and it's even is 2 times 6, and I see a 3 times a 4. Is 12? No. Factor of 18. Is 6 a factor? Yes. So 6 is the numerical GCF. I see an x in each term, so I take the smallest exponent is 2. I see a y in each term, smallest exponent is 3. There we go. There's the GCF moved outside. Here comes the brackets. 2 terms here, 2 in here. 12 divided by 6 is 2. I got an x squared, don't need any more x's. I got an x cubed, don't need any more y's. Good. 18 divided by 6 is 3. I got an x squared, don't need any more x's. I got a y4, so I need one more y with the 3 to get the 1. So 4 subtract 3 is 1. Done. And I see an 8 is the smallest number. 8 is the factor of 16, so 8 is a GCF. Perfect. And, I forgot my x, getting sloppy. I got 8 8 is the numerical GCF. X is common, so I have to take x to the 4. Okay. There's the GCF. 16 divided by 8 is 2. And I got x to the 4 here with, I don't have it, need any more x's. 8 divided by 8 is 1. And I got a 5 minus 4 is 1. I need one more x, because x to the 4 times x, you add to get 5, or 5 subtract 4 is just 1. Number 8, smallest number is 3. So is 3 a factor of 9? Yes. 6? Yes. So 3 is the numerical. I have an x common. Yes. The smallest exponent is a 1. So I have 3 divided by 3 is 1. X squared. 3 subtract 1 is 2. 9 divided by 3 is 3. X squared divided by x is just an x. And 6x divided by 3x is a negative 2. 3 terms, 3 terms. And notice that's a 3, 2, a 1. So when you're dividing, it goes down by 2, 1, 0. That's a constant. And 2 is a GCF. 2 is the smallest number, but 2 is a factor of 10 and 6. And I have an x, an x, and an x, so x is common. And notice x is common, the smallest exponent is 1. So 2x cubed divided by 2x is x squared. Negative 10x divided by 2x is a negative 5. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. Don't need any x's, but I need a y. So note, 2x times x squared, perfect. 2x times minus 5, perfect. 2x times 3y, perfect. 3 terms, 3 terms. And I don't worry about descending order with 2 variables, different variables. And the last one, I have an A in all of them, good. I have a B here, but not here, so I don't have a B as a GCF. I have a C and a C and a C. So A and C are the GCFs. GCF is A and C. A, B, C divided by AC, I get a B. A, Y, C divided by AC, I have an A, I have a C, I need a Y. And A, B, C divided by AC, I need a B. And if you notice that these are like terms, so that could be 2B plus Y. If that's fully factored completely. So that, as you notice at the beginning, just look. These two can add together to give you 2A, B, C. So if you add these at the beginning and get 2A, B, C, because they're like terms, 1 plus 1 is 2, then you only have 2 of these to deal with. If you didn't do there, and you factored here, and then you notice that what? That's a B and a B I can add. Great. So there's the better factorization just because it's simplified on the inside. If you add these together first, if you noticed it, then you say, well, A is common and C is common. Then 2ABC divided by AC is 2B. And AYC divided by AC is a Y. So if you added these two at the beginning and got this, and then you factored, you still got the same answer. So be careful. And that brings us to the end of factoring with the GCF. Remember, the first rule of factoring is the greatest common factor. Remove it if it is. When you remove it, it makes the factoring easier. And you're going to see that more and more as we go on with these videos. If you like what I'm doing, click the like button. If you're not a subscriber and you want to subscribe to my channel, do so. And if you want to click the notification bell, more videos coming. And write a comment if you wish, if you're a subscriber. And visit my math website at mathfullyexplained.com. And there you have information on me, videos, and content. The me has my degrees and teaching experience. The video section has the strategies you're going to use to help you learn your math. And the content has the topics and the number of videos on each of those topics. And that's in black font. That's online on my YouTube channel right now. And the red font is the topics that I'll be developing in the near future. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.